Now, before we get started, I would really love it if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get the latest content from the YouTube channel, The Last Rewind. And don't be shy about leaving your comments at the bottom of the page because you are the sole reason why this channel will be successful. Thank you. Welcome back to The Last Rewind. Some people are just highly upset Mr. Bam Adebayo for scoring 83 points the way it happened. I want to tell you my feelings about it. I'm in the middle. Two things can be right. I am in the middle of this. I watched the game. First, I didn't watch the whole game. I think I watched from maybe the second half of the second quarter and on, because I got a notification that Bam, of all, Adebyo had 31 points, I think, in the first quarter. I'm like, wow. And anytime, I'm always on alert. Since Kobe Bryant scored 81, because I didn't get to watch the 81 points. Unfortunately, I missed out on that game. I had to watch the highlights later. But anytime I see someone scoring, I say 27 maybe in a quarter, I said, ooh, this may be the time where the record gets broken again. And I said years ago, that record, since the scoring has went up in the last few years, that record's not going to last long. I said I'll say maybe since 2021, 22, I give it 10 years and that record will fall. Or somebody's going to come very close. And, we've seen people getting 70 and 72, I think maybe even 74 at one point. I think Luka has 72 or 74, something like that. But I said, it's going to happen. Somebody's going to get hot one night and that record's coming down. And you know what? Let me even stop myself because it's not a record. It's second place. I've never seen so many people get happy or upset over second place. Will had 100, and people are going to say, well, if I didn't see it, it didn't happen. Well, if that's the case, then 9% or 99% or whatever's in the history books that was around before videotape was included didn't happen as well if you didn't see it. So, you gotta keep up that same energy for all of history. If that's the case, you didn't see it, that means it didn't happen. But it's still second place. I don't care what you say. It's in the books. Kobe Bryant is not the most points scored ever, especially not now. We have video footage of it. But the thing that just really got me, it was Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo, I think his career high previous to these 83 points was 41 points. He is averaging 20 points per game in a sped up league, in a high volume, high scoring league. He's averaging 20 points per game. And I was actually cheering for him, but I'm like, this is a feel good story. This feels like, in a short way, Linsanity. Linsanity came out of nowhere. No one expected him to do everything he did in that short amount of time. It happened and then quickly went away. But I was cheering for him. I was like, man, I hope he can get it. I was hoping he could get like 50 points. And it was like, when it got to the third quarter and he was on his way to 70, I was like, wow, this is something that he's going to be able to tell his kids, his grandkids, and all that type of stuff. He's with Asia Wilson, too. So, she's a remarkable basketball player for the WNBA. And I was like, wow. I'm like, what did she do with him the night before to give him all this energy all of a sudden to score this many points? Because he is not known for scoring. He's known for defense. He's an okay scorer for the NBA. But if you had told me Luka, if you had told me SGA, if you even had told me Jokic, I would have believed it. He's not a scorer per se, but I could imagine him getting hot one night and just tearing up the scoreboard. I even want to say, dang, maybe even LeBron's old behind was somehow got hot. Not likely, but if you had told me, I was like, okay, I can see it way more than I can see Bam doing it. Oh, wow. And I was all cool for it until the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter, the game, well, actually the third quarter on to the fourth quarter, the game was out of reach. It was like at 30 points, I think, at one point, the lead. And I was like, there's no way he should still be in this game. And I harken back, because I know people are going to be like, well, Kobe chased the same record too when he was trying to get 81 points. Within the flow of the game, I'm cool with that. Within the flow of the game. The game wasn't necessarily out of reach, but it wasn't necessarily within reach either. You know how you look at it. In that era of the NBA, it was probably maybe like a 14, 15 point lead going in the fourth quarter. At some point in the fourth quarter, maybe not going in, but at some point in the fourth quarter. And some people go, well, they didn't take Kobe out then. Well, I'm like, well, 15 point lead, things can happen. Who knows? But it was still within the flow of the game. Something could have happened. You never know. So I had no problem leaving him in there. And he wasn't, I know they were just giving Kobe the ball. But there was another time Kobe had, I think, 62, 63 at the end of three quarters versus the Mavericks. And he very well could have went for the record then. But the game was out of reach, for real out of reach. But he said, no, I can get it another time. Within the flow of the game. Bam, what his teammates were doing, fouling the Wizards on purpose to stop the clock, to give him more chances to score, that I wasn't cool with. I wasn't cool with that. I don't care if the other team was fouling him. I'm fine with that because they just didn't want to see him score. They didn't want to be in the history books. So that part I get. He took a lot of free throws, that I get. But and the Wizards are the Wizards. The Wizards are not a good team. They're a lottery team. They're at the bottom of the barrel. But they still didn't want to make history that night. But I didn't like the fact that it would just the Wizards were purposely missing free throws, trying to bang it off the rim to give him another chance to score the points. That was not within the flow of the game. That to me was going against the unwritten honor code of playing within the game to break a record. I didn't like that. That is, and people complain about it all the time, that's stat padding. People talk about LeBron and stat padding and staying around in games to get an extra rebound, get a triple-double, or score an extra point when the game's out of reach, or actually they're actually losing and he should be resting. And he comes back in and plays these unwarranted minutes just to get these couple extra points so he can keep a streak going. That's stat padding. And I think this was also stat padding. And I think that's the biggest disgust that people had with Bam breaking this record. And the second thing that's also true, I think people hate, and again, is second place. Kobe Bryant's 81 points. I think people were mad it was Kobe Bryant's second place record. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. That's one of the most memorable things people have with Kobe Bryant, besides, of course, the championships, is him scoring that 81 points. You know, people watched it countless times since the day he set the second place record. So that is a memory people did not want to lose of Kobe, is at least being in second place. And even if you don't believe Wilt did it, then I guess you believe Kobe is first place. Well, he's no longer first place. This is actually on video. So two things can be true. So it can be and or. People are either mad because how Bam did it, or they're mad at how he did it, and because it's Kobe's record. Second place. Again. My thoughts on it, I was, like I said, I was cheering for him to break the record. So I'm not totally mad about that. It was the person who broke it. You know, records are meant to be broken. I was just mad at how the fourth quarter went. That's all I have to say about that. I would love to hear your opinion about it. Please leave your comments at the bottom of the screen, and I will see you on the next episode of The Last Rewind. Peace.